What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So today we have got another MX vs ATV Alive recreation in MX Bikes, made by MvA again. This one comes, I think, only about 2 weeks or so after his last one on the JS7 compound. Now, I was very fortunate enough to be able to test this while it was all in the making. It was purely just a height map, you know, very early days of it when it was being built, but I gave it a little bit of feedback just in terms of jump scaling and things like that. So very interested to see what the final product is going to consist of. Now, I'm recording this just before the MX Bikes of Nations qualifying starts. So that will be yesterday's live stream. If you managed to hop into it and support your boy, thank you very much. If not, feel free to go back and watch it again. I won't lie, a little bit nervous in terms of qualifying. I'm not sure how it's going to go. There's a couple of pretty damn fast people in the MX2 class, which is what I'm going to be qualifying for. So I'm going to try my best, as always, and hopefully it goes okay. I've already played the game for like a couple of hours today in preparation. I'm worried that I might have, oh my god, worried that I might have overdone it. Speaking of overdone it, are you meant to be able to jump that, or is that a check-up jump and then a leap? I'm not too sure, but let's get into this. Let's have a look. I mean, visually, it looks really nice. I'm not sure if it's just the Hurren shaders that I've got on. Let me turn them off. What's it like? I mean, it still looks pretty damn good. Not quite as bright as I would like. I'm gonna leave them on, of course, but still good nonetheless. So I think this time round we're gonna get a sense of what MvA's rut creation ability is like, because there wasn't much in the way of ruts, I don't think, on the J7 compound. It's for the most part, it's a fairly flat track, and you just send it everywhere. That is very easily quaddable. Maybe. Oh, I'm wondering, should I have done this on a 450? I don't want to like screw myself over. I'm on the Gas 250 right now, all featuring the Great Britain skin, McCreation skin made by McChicken himself. He was getting so stressed out making this. Apparently the Gas PSD is not an easy one to work with, and also saw the norms are a bit weird as well. So like on my levers, there's really not much in the way of reflections or anything. It looks a little bit plasticky, but that is no fault of his. That is just the standard templates that it comes with. So I can't do much about it, but I've been enjoying the Gas a lot recently. Quite a few people were asking me why I've been running it, and for me it's purely just a visual switch up compared to the Husky. Obviously it is exactly the same in every way other than its appearance, and it's just a nice change. You get to see some red rather than a white front fender all the time. Can I send this and quad this all the way? Survive, please. Oh, god damn it. I feel like that is definitely a 450 line. I might just have to go double on the 2 fatty. But let me see, what on earth did I do over here last time? I accidentally sent a jump based... Oh no, it is. I'm pretty sure you're meant to absolutely just send... Yeah, okay. I just got it completely wrong first time round. It's definitely meant to be a triple there. Just trying to remember the lines from back in the day as well. I did show a video on my stream, or one of my streams not that long ago. It's a video that I took on my phone back when Alive was in its release year, back when it was in its peak. And I think there's a video of me getting a really fast lap time, and I just set my phone up in a glass, pointed it at my monitor, and just press record, and that's how the whole YouTube thing started for me back in the day. Obviously, didn't go through the didn't go through the whole hassle of doing voiceover and stuff like that back then. I was just a hot lap warrior. Had my fair share of world record laps on Alive in general. One of my favourite MX vs ATV games. I'm not sure if I would favour Alive over Reflex. I hold them both in high regards. I feel like Reflex is definitely the OG, but I feel like Alive has a little bit more of a place in my heart for the sole reason that I was better at it. Oh, there you go, there's a big quad as well. Get on the brakes, on the binders. Nice. And he's definitely made a change to that, because I could not do that line for the life of me in the, like the alpha test version that I'd done. I do need to work out what I'm doing up that hill. That is not going very well for me whatsoever. Oh, please. Oh, god damn it. But I was quite surprised to see this release so soon. Because it wasn't that long ago that I was playing just a height map that didn't have all of the ruts and stuff in place. So he's been absolutely grinding away at it, working his arse off to get this out for everybody. There we go. And it was only today that I checked the store to see if the qualifying track for Nations had come out yet, that I saw it. So I thought, you know what, let's download it, hop on it, give it a go, and it should be a-okay. I did also see that they've released a bundle pack for all the ARL rounds, which I think is like 20% off. Although I don't think it's a true 20% off. because round 3 was free, so I'm not sure if that's been taken into account. But nonetheless, it's nice that they're offering at more of a discounted price for the guys that, let's say, wouldn't want to do the normal races because they know they might not be fast enough to qualify, but they want to still play the tracks themselves. So it's cool that they've done that. One thing that isn't too cool, which I don't agree with, is Paris Raceway being uploaded on there and basically renamed, given a few new textures and cameras and stuff, and being paid for. If you want the free version of that, that's on MXB mods, so go and do that, but I can't see myself paying for it. I think it's been one of them hot topics recently in various discords that I've seen people talking about, but I'll stay away from it. That is all I will say on the matter. Did that say Creations back there, or did that just say Creations? Oh, it says Maplar Creations. Okie dokie. That makes sense. Come on, survive. And I'm wondering if these are all... I wonder if these textures or walls are ones that he's made by himself. Bearing in mind, I've actually not read the release page at all for this. I just downloaded it and hopped straight on. He could have had someone else doing the models for the castle and stuff. He could have done it himself. Either way, it looks really, really good. Adds to the replica-ness of it, because that was a key feature on Maison to Moto X. Back on a live... I'm still not getting that section right at all. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I think in the test version that I'd done, the jump faces had a bit more of a lip on them, so it was much easier just to get up and over them and maybe like triple your way through. Not the case here. Definitely feeling like it might be a big bike track rather than a small bike. So most of the jumps are okay, but there's one or two sections just where I would like that little bit more power. But in terms of overall feel, flow, and just if it being a Maison the Moto X replica, he's done a very, very good job. I imagine it's always quite hard to move tracks over from one game to another. I say move, I mean replicate. He hasn't like just transferred it over or not ripped it. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's completely gone from my brain. But yeah, it must be very hard replicating a track from one game to the other and making it work, because as we know, I don't think Alive and MX bikes could be more different in terms of physics. I think the entire way of going fast on Alive was just lean off the back of a wheelie everything that you can and clutch boost until your fingers fall off. I'm praying these bales don't have collisions. They don't, thank God. You very smart man, Matt Bar. That's good to see. And then you should be able to definitely quad that entire thing there as well. But there are some big boy lines. Definitely some big boy lines. Not too sure what I'm meant to be doing through these rollers as well, but he's made them easier than what were in the test version. So I'm guessing some other people have given feedback on that, because I forgot to myself. Or he just played it himself and realised that they're a bit... Oh, there was a bit steep on the version before. There we go. But something's... Tell you what, so I've been doing a lot of practice on Redbud today, obviously ahead of Nations. Now, it's not going to be the ARL Redbud that gets played, it's a new track being released specifically for qualifying. Different bumps, different routes, I'm guessing slightly different track layout. Because I think they make the leap a little bit shorter IRL for it, and they'll probably do the same in game, I'm not sure. But I want to say, some of these jumps on here, they do give me like the Rocco's Leap vibes, just in terms of having to absolutely send it, get your ass over the front of it, dab the brake, and barely get over it, which is probably, I think, one of the most satisfying things to do in the game, especially on the 250s. When you get a corner just right, and you manage to fully stretch out, like slam on the back brake in the air, dip the front end, and just barely get over a jump, it's so nice to do. Let's go around the outside here. Survive. Thank you. That was a close one. And so if nobody did know, and if you haven't watched the Nation stream at all from yesterday, the qualifying is actually different to usual. So usually it would just be run the best lap in like a 20-minute qualifying session or so, and that's it. Not the case anymore. We are still doing a qualifying session, which I think is about 30 minutes. But on top of that, it's also, you're going to take that lap, but then add it on to your total race time in a 5-lap race. Now, there's no road and there's no collisions in these races, which I think is the fairest way of doing it, because you might get wiped out in one session where someone that you're competing against in another session gets maybe a clean start, for example. So definitely the best way of going about it. But then with the no road as well, it really is going to prioritise people being not just fast, but consistently fast. And I think the race times are going to take much more priority over the qualifying laps, because in my eyes, let's say you're not the fastest hot lapper in the world, you're maybe 3-4 seconds off of someone's lap time. which I'm going to use myself for example. So I'm competing against Jay. Jay, I think he definitely has been maining the 250 a fair amount over the last year in the ARL season, and he's a very, very fast 250 rider. You know, definitely faster than me on any given day. We could hop on the same track, and I guarantee he would put down a hotter lap than me. However, I think I might just have the edge in terms of racing consistency. I think that's where I will shine. So to have both aspects of it for this qualifying, I'm quite excited for, because I know last year I had the heartbreak of being out qualified barely in the dying minutes of a qualifying session and missing out. So the fact that even if I do get out qualified by even, let's say, 3 seconds or so, which is quite a lot in qualifying terms, it's not a lot in race terms, especially spread over 5 laps. I think that is more than enough time to gain back them 3 seconds, and especially considering one proper crash with a couple of bounces, or even that, what's just happened there to me, that is easily worth 3 seconds. So one of them, and it's fair game again, back in the running. So I'm very excited for it. I feel a little bit sorry for some of the teams that haven't got a full lineup, so they won't be able to qualify properly. I know Latvia's one of them. I've seen someone asking a few times if someone's allowed to join the Latvian team so they can potentially race. They've got 2 people. Obviously you need 3 to make up an entire team there. But it's one of them things. I think if you are from a not so common country in these communities, I think you come to expect it. Chicken, he's said multiple times today that he's very, very happy to be from Australia, because it means 99% of the time he can make it into the team. He's not really got much in the way of competition. It used to be the way for that. It used to be that way for me on Sim. There never used to be a bunch of fast people from Great Britain on Sim. Although that did start changing over the years, so I used to make it in fairly easily. But on this game, for some reason, I don't know why, all the Brits decide to play MX bikes rather than MX Sim or whatever. So definitely difficult to make it in, but I'll try my best anyway. It'll be okay. Even if I don't make it, I'll be cheering on the boys. And I think now that they've done it in the format of having a little race to qualify as well as that, I know that whoever does make it through will be the fastest person for the job and the right person, because there is such a difference between hot lapping and being fast in races. So combining the two, I think, is absolutely perfect. And one other thing that I saw, which I think is cool, some people have been a bit funny about it. I think it was a good idea. Is so usually we've got Team Puerto Rico and Team Guam. Guam. Why does the word Guam sound weird? But yeah, Team Puerto Rico and Team Guam always seem to be like America B and C teams, essentially. And they managed to take a lot of spots of the actual natives of those countries, which I think is a little bit unfair. You may disagree with that. I mean, the guys that are probably just outside of top 3 US times, but might then make it into the Puerto Rico or Guam teams, would disagree with me, because that's kind of their shot at making it in. Bearing in mind this game is predominantly US riders, so there's a lot more competition for those spots. But what they've done is, so Team Puerto Rico is reserved for the mods, like the mods team, for the aerial team, not the aerial mod team, which I think is quite nice, a little way of giving back to them and kind of rewarding them in their way for work over the year, so that gives them a chance to take part in the event. And then I believe Team Guam is reserved for only riders who have finished outside the top 100 in the overall point standings for the year, so like a proper B team, if that makes sense. And I think that's a good way about going. I can't English say. A good way of going about it. There we go. Jesus Christ. Because for IRL, I'm not sure who the third rider was for Guam, but wasn't it? It was Joshua Varese and Benny Bloss. And I thought that was so funny. I was like, I don't remember Benny being from Guam. I'm pretty sure that he was American, and I know that Guam itself is a US territory. But I still think that it should be reserved for natives only. I'm not sure how that works. Even back when like Pastrana and stuff were doing it, I don't know, I don't agree with it, but that is one man's opinion. I'm sure there's many others out there that disagree with me and think that it's absolutely okay. I think I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here now. I feel like if you're not fast enough to qualify in for your own country, you should then just have like the pride or patriotism not to ride for anything else. Even if let's say you was born in one country, but you've lived your entire life somewhere else, and that's usually that's what's on your passport, that's what you usually identify as. Don't see why you would then switch just for something like MX of Nations. I think there's definitely 2 ways of looking at it, because let's imagine during Nations you accidentally take out your actual country. like during the race and they get a worse result or maybe lose the position overall because of it. Imagine how bad you'd feel doing that. And then I'm also like, it's a little bit... I don't think I would want to represent anyone else other than Team Great Britain. Let's say I was born in France, for example, and all of the French guys are absolutely cracked at the game, and I had no way of qualifying. I wouldn't want to just then suddenly switch my teams just to make it in and compete against my own nation. That would just feel really weird to me, but I digress. It's fine. Just want to go back to this track before I end the video, because I realise I've actually waffled on quite a little bit today. I think the textures on this track look really, really nice. I think the model, like in front of me, featuring capybaras, of course, look very, very nice. And I say the track itself, it flows fairly well. I like this Supercross section, but I am a bit of a slut for Soupy tracks, as you know. So my opinion on that is a little bit biased. One or two of the jumps, I think, could be... Maybe the face is made a tiny bit steeper to help you up and over. But I think that might just be a 250 problem. I don't see a lot of the jumps being an issue on a 450, and there's a lot of jumps as well actually that are very easy to OJ. I've not even tried attempting the inside here on this corner. I think the outside is much more friendly, and I like some of the big boy lines. So if you downside this right, absolutely send this into the corner, get the quad, slam on the brakes, get the inside rut, and very, very nice and satisfying. So Matt, I think you've done a very, very good job. I'm not sure if you've got any more tracks already in the lineup. I can't remember off the top of my head all of the Alive tracks, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe something like, maybe try a Soupy track, something like Lexington. I mean, I had all the world records on Lexington at one point on PS3, so that'd be a nice little throwback for me, who knows. And I don't know if you already had Mason's Moto X in the works, or if you got the inspiration from my stream, but I know that you sent me a link to, like, obviously that alpha and such after I showed my lap times back in the day. But either way, thanks for giving me early access to it. And I think it's come out really, really well. Definitely worth the $1.50 that it is on the store. And hopefully you guys have been enjoying it as well. Let me know if you've played it yet, or if not, if you plan on getting it. And just let me know what your favourite MX vs ATV game was as well. Like I said, I'm a little bit on the fence between whether it was Reflex or Alive, but I'm sure you guys have some definitive favourites. And probably, I guarantee there's some of you that probably prefer ones that maybe aren't fan favourites. Maybe some of you, maybe your Legends is the most favourite MX vs ATV for some of you, who knows. But let me know down below. I like reading through the comments. They do kill some time for me in the evenings. It's quite nice to have a read through and see everyone's thoughts and opinions. But that'll do it from me. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is you're up to, and until catch you in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got salt to be for my